another yoga studio. I am Kat, for those of you who haven't joined me before, and thank you to everyone for coming and sharing some time on the mat with me today as we ease and stretch our back. So whether you're used to moving and stretching or whether you found this video because your back is stiff, then it doesn't matter. This is for everyone. So if you are used to moving and stretching and you have things like yoga blocks and straps, grab them because we will be using them. Otherwise, find a nice cushion or maybe a big book or something like that that you can sit on. So I have a couple of cushions here that I will be using. Even if you are a regular yogi or Pilates person and Pilates practitioner, I should say really, and have a block and things that you use, you might even find that perhaps a cushion or something like that is useful to have today. And I've also got a belt that I can use to help me with some stretching too. So once you've got all your bits of equipment that we're going to need, then find yourself a space to lie down on the mat. So we're just going to start by lying. Just take a few moments to relax and to breathe and help relieve a bit of tension. And then we'll be working through a little bit of movement to ease the back and some stretching as well. So you might find that it's quite nice to take a cushion or two and pop it in under the head. We're taking a big bend in the knees. And I'm just letting the hands come onto the belly. And maybe one hand can come on the chest as well. And then all we're doing is noticing the breathing. So just letting some nice big breaths flow in through the nose and out through the nose if we can. We're not trying to control or force anything. Just let the breath flow naturally. Maybe as we just lay here, breathing might slow it down by itself. Sometimes we might be feeling stiff in the back because we've perhaps been doing a lot of physical work, maybe gardening or building or painting and decorating. But sometimes we feel stiffness in the back because of emotional tension, sort of like busyness of tension and stress in our daily lives. But either way, just using this time just to lie here quietly. Tuning into our breath can help to relieve tension from the body. Not always the easiest thing to do, just to sit or lie and breathe. So don't get cross with yourself if you don't find it very easy. We're taking one more breath in. And then let your hands drop to your side, moving your fingers and moving your toes. Maybe you'd like to open your eyes. And then start to move with the hands and the feet. Doesn't matter how, but just finding a little bit of awareness of movement back in the body. Float the arms back. Maybe take a little stretch out to the fingertips. And if it's okay for the back, we could try and walk the feet away and take a full stretch through the body. Now, if that's too much, keep the knees bent. We're going to be doing this class together with different levels of tension and stiffness. And then bend the knees and see if you can bring them up towards your chest. So maybe it helps to put the hands around the back of the thighs and pull them in. You could hold them there, you could hold them over the tops of the shins, or maybe even grab your belt, scarf, strap, whatever you've got to help hold stretches with today, and just hold them, hook it around the back of the knees and take the knees in towards you. And if you are there looking like this, then that is absolutely fine. We are all working today with the body that we have woken up with and are dealing with. Just going to hold and breathe just for 3 more breaths. And then take the left foot down towards the floor, so you might just need to undo our strap. Continue holding wherever you've been holding then, or wherever you feel you can hold around that right leg. And as you breathe out, just pull that right knee in a little bit closer. Breathe in, release it. So breathe out, pull the leg in. Breathe in, release. So just taking a little bit of rock over our sacroiliac joint, that point where our spine and pelvis meet. See if we can just loosen up a little bit of stiffness there. So we'll do 3 more. So anything that feels a little bit too much, or if you feel like you've reached your limit, just stop whatever it is that we're doing. And take just sit or lie and take some breaths in. Okay, we're going to let go of our strap if we need to. Take the right leg down, pull the left leg in, taking your strap underneath the knee on this side if you need it, or your belt. And then breathe out, pull the left knee towards you and let it go. So maybe you find that one side's a little bit looser than another. We don't need to make any judgment, it's just a notice. Two more. And then undo the strap if you can. And walk the feet away from you just as far as they feel they will go, and take another stretch. Open the arms out to the side, walk the feet back in. So we're going to take a little rock of the knees from side to side, very slow, very controlled. We're not going to rush, and we're going to keep an awareness of the core. So breathe out, squeeze the belly button down into the spine, and then think about pulling it up in towards the back of the rib cage. Feet can be as wide or as close as you would like here, and as you breathe out, roll the knees to the right, just as far as you can. Breathe into the center, breathe out, roll the knees to the left. So maybe you're not even coming anywhere close to the floor, but that's okay. Just take it as far as it will go and then pull it straight back into the middle. If you need to catch up with the breath, you can always pause in the middle. So maybe your breath is working a little bit slower than the movement that your body will allow you to have. But don't rush the breathing to keep up with the movement. So what we want to do now is hold our twists to the side. So this is where you might find bringing a cushion or two in is very useful. So if you're able to comfortably let your knees relax to the floor, then we can stay unsupported. The floor will be our support. But if that is a little bit too much to take, Take one cushion round to support the bottom knee. And then if it's too much still to let the top leg come round, we can bring another cushion in between the knees. So we're going to take the knees over to the right, put in as much support there as the body requires. And then relax the shoulders back and perhaps take a little look with the head towards the left. Bring a little bit of stretch through the top of the back, through the neck, the shoulder as well by rolling the head to the side. And just holding and breathing. Good. Roll the knees back into the centre. You can always use your hands to help. And then see what support you might want on the other side. Take your cushion over. Roll the knees the other way as you breathe out. And let the head look to the other direction. So the knees are to the left, head to the right, if that's okay for the neck. Good. Roll back into the centre, just moving our cushions out of the way. And then just slowly push yourself up to a seated position. And we're going to try and come then onto all fours. So moving yourself round, knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. We're going to take our cat stretch. So the important thing is not to worry here how much movement you take. Just think about keeping that intention of trying to wave the spine up and down. And depending on where you feel the tension in the back, you might find there are different spots that feel tense. So root down through the hands and the feet, or the legs and the feet. And when you're ready, breathe out. Draw the belly button into the spine to push the back up. As you breathe in, turn the tailbone up. See if you can draw the shoulders back as we take a little arch. Breathe out, round up. Breathe in to arch. So we don't want to feel any pain or discomfort. We're just trying to bring movement in. So it might be that it really is just a little movement, and maybe you can only move one way. Maybe it's only an arch. Maybe it's only the round up. Either is fine. We're going to take 2 more rounds here. So breathe out, draw the belly in and round up, arch the other way. Come back into the middle. Start to walk your hands back in and begin to move yourself around so that you can come to a seated position. So as we come to sit here, please listen to your body and find a way to sit that your back and your spine feels comfortable with. One option is just to take a cushion underneath the knees. If you need to take something else and pop it in underneath your hips, then give yourself support under the hips as well. We're going to take a stretch through the backs of the legs. So trying to flex the feet if we can. Sit as tall as your back will allow. And I know if your back feels really stiff and tight, you might feel as if that feels almost impossible today, but just work where you can. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, just wriggle the fingers down your thighs, down your shins. And just see where you end up. So we want to keep a nice long line from the crown of the head to the shoulders to the lower back. So the aim is to bring the belly forwards, not just kind of drop the chin in and around the shoulders and think about stretching with the fingers. Our goal is not to touch the toes. Maybe we do, which is fantastic. But our aim is to bring the belly forward so we can think about stretching through the lower back, but also through the hamstrings. Because sometimes if we're tight here, we can be tight here, and if we can be tight in the tops of the legs, and that can be affecting our lower back as well. And if it does start to ease a little, and you can come a little bit further down towards the thighs, by all means come a little bit further down towards the thighs. No rush, no expectation. Just thinking about the breath. Take 2 more full breaths here. And then slowly walk yourself back up, bending the knees. Slide the cushions out the way from under the knees if you need it. Walk yourself up. Wrap the arms either around the back of the thighs or over the shins. So you can take your chin down. We can always take an extra little cushion in here to let the head rest on. And then when you're ready, just come up to sitting, and we're just going to find anywhere that feels comfortable to sit. So if this means that actually for this part you would rather go and sit on your sofa or a chair, then that's absolutely fine. If you are able to stay seated on your mat and you just want to pop that cushion back in underneath your hips, go for it. Maybe putting something also back in underneath the knees. What we want to do is just take a little stretch through the neck and the shoulders. So this bit needs to be as comfortable as it can. So we're not looking for a perfect yoga seat at all. So we're just going to start off by taking the shoulders up to the ears and then exhaling, dropping them down. So inhale, round up. Exhale, roll them down the spine. Don't worry if this feels quite challenging today. Sometimes we're not, even something as simple as rolling the shoulders around can feel really challenging when the back is really feeling stiff and tight. And that stiffness and that tightness can come anywhere from up through the head and the neck all the way down through the back of the chest and the shoulders and into that lower back area and down into the hips. Drop the shoulders down the spine and then reach your left arm out in front of you. We're going to just gently pull it across the body, and this can be above or below the elbow with the hand. So don't press on the elbow joint. And just squeeze the arm in as far as it will go. opening the back of the shoulder blade out and stretching around the top of the arm. And then let that arm go, reach the right arm out again, just don't press on the elbow but pull, use the left arm to pull the right arm in. Maybe you feel like one side's a little bit tighter than the other here. Sometimes it helps if you think about breathing into those tight spots, sending the breath into that area. Take the arms back down and drop the chin to the chest. Gently roll the head from side to side. See if maybe you can just let your fingertips touch the mat or the cushion either side of you. And then we're going to bring the head back into the center. Take the left ear over to the left shoulder. Maybe bring the left hand on top. And just gently squeeze the ear over to the side. And then bring the chin to the chest. So we've still got the head over to the left side of the body. Allow the head to roll all the way up, swapping sides, bring right ear to right shoulder. And then maybe the hand comes up and over the top. Yeah, and don't be surprised if there's a little bit of difference between the two sides. Definitely feels like it's a little bit of a tighter side to stretch for me. And again, take that roll of the chin to the chest, keeping the head over to that right side of the body. And then bring yourself all the way back up. So we're going to move ourselves off our cushions, or if you did go and sit on a sofa or a chair, come back onto the mat. And just ease yourself down to a lying position. And it doesn't have to look elegant, however you feel you can get there. So we are going to try and hug the right knee up in towards our chest. And slide that left leg as far away from you as your body will allow. Again, if you need it, you've got that little cushion there. You could always put a cushion underneath the knee. We're just going to squeeze that right knee up in towards the chest. Maybe you have your strap there as well, if it helps. And we can hold over the shin or round the thigh. And lots of different options to suit different bodies. And as you breathe out, we're going to just try and move the knee out to the right side a little bit. Don't worry if it doesn't go very far. Just opening across the front of the hips. Another area, all the hips and the shoulders, the lower back, they're all areas that hold tension. And if the front of our legs tighten up, then that can affect how we stand, how we sit, and make our back feel tight as well. So bring the knee into the middle, and this time we're going to cross it over to come up towards the left shoulder. That's perfectly okay to keep a big bend in the other leg, in the left leg for this one. Good, release the right leg down. See how far you can slide the right leg away from you again. Put a little support in underneath the knee if you prefer. And then we're taking the left leg up towards the chest. Use your strap, your belt here if you want. And then allow the left knee to roll out to the side. So you can keep the shoulders and the neck relaxed. Sometimes we sort of hunch up here because we're trying to support the legs, but try not to undo that little stretch we've just done with them. Come back into the middle, cross the knee over and take it up to the opposite shoulder. Good, release the left foot down towards the floor. And we're just going to lie back in a comfortable position again on the mat. Letting the arms flop out to the side. If you need cushions under the knees, under the head, take whatever you need. Drawing some big breaths in and out through the nose. Seeing if perhaps your breath feels a little bit easier now. Take a last moment here to just allow the whole body to melt and relax back to the floor. Particularly that area in the back that is feeling tight and stiff today. We've got one more breath here. And then just begin to wriggle the fingers and the toes again. Stretching the arms back. Take a big breath in. And then just roll round onto your side. Just pausing here for a moment. Maybe just pulling the knees a little bit closer into the belly and the chest. And then slowly ease your way up to a comfortable seated position. Wherever that might be, we are only here for a moment as we seal our practice in, but do take a cushion if you need it to sit on. We are reaching the arms up as we breathe in. And then as you breathe out, bring the hands down in front of you. Just bow your head to your fingers. Thank yourself for taking a bit of time and effort to look after yourself, look after your back, look after your health. And we'll seal our practice in with Namaste. Good, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that has maybe brought a little bit of relief to a bit of stiffness and maybe discomfort. If it did, perhaps leave a thumbs up. You feel free to make any comments or questions below, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already so that you can keep up to date with all our videos as they come out. All right, take care now. Bye.